Since the launch of ROG Ally Life 2 years ago, I have covered over 450 games with my own personal game settings. And since then, the most requested feature for the website has been the option for anyone to submit their own game settings for the community to view and use. Starting today on ROGAllyLife.com, you can share your game settings for the ROG Ally and ROG Ally X and view other submitted settings from the community. I'm going to walk you through the multiple ways to share game settings on ROGAllyLife.com. The first way to share game settings for a game is to go directly to the game settings page of that specific game you want to share settings for on ROGAllyLife.com. For example, if you want to share settings for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, go to the ROG Ally Life game settings page for that game. There will be a huge Submit Your Settings button at the top of the page. Click the button and a submission form will pop out for you to fill out. This button will be at the top of every game settings page that's on the site, and it will automatically select the game for you on the submission form. The other way to share game settings is to go to the Community Game Settings page. Click the Submit Your Settings button at the bottom of the game settings grid. A submission form will pop out, and you can manually select a game from a drop-down list. If you want to share settings for a game that isn't listed on ROG Ally Life, select Other Game in the drop-down list and manually enter the game title. Now let's talk about the game settings submission form. Game title. Select a game from a drop-down list of games I covered on ROG Ally Life. Or, if you want to share settings for a game that isn't listed on ROG Ally Life, select Other Game in the drop-down list and manually enter the game title. Device. Choose the ROG Ally device you're submitting settings for. Operating system. Choose the OS your device is running on. Windows, SteamOS, or Bazzite. TDP. Choose the TDP your game settings are aimed for. Resolution. Choose what resolution you're playing at. 1080p, 900p, or 720p. VRAM. Choose the amount of VRAM your device is set at. AFMF. Let us know if AFMF is being used with your settings or not. Enter game settings. Enter the game settings in the same order as you see in the game you're submitting for. You can create rows to build a readable table that will help users read and input them faster into their game. Explain the performance. This text field is here for you to explain what type of performance you got with the settings you submitted and any other tips. Username. Enter the username you want attached to the submitted game settings. To avoid spam, each submission will be approved by me before appearing on the Community Game Settings page. I will make this process as fast as possible. The Community Game Settings page will display a grid of all the games that have user-submitted settings. It will be sorted from the game with the most submitted settings to the least. At the bottom of the grid, there is a Submit Your Settings button that you can click to submit your own settings for any game as mentioned before. If you want to share settings for a game that isn't listed on ROG Ally Life, select Other Game in the drop-down list and manually enter the game title. Click any game cover in the grid, and it will bring you to a dedicated game page that will display all the submitted settings for that game. Each game page will display all the submitted settings in tabs that can be opened to show all the submitted information. At the bottom of each submitted setting, you can leave a 1 to 5 stars rating. This rating can help people know which setting helped them the most. At the top, you can filter the game page to show only settings for a specific ROG Ally device. At the top there will also be a link to view ROG Ally Life personal game settings, plus store buttons to buy the game. And there will be a Submit Your Settings button that you can click to submit your own game settings. Head to ROGAllyLife.com now and start sharing your settings. Let's build a huge database of community settings.